Why post-COVID there is no going back? Now, we don't mean no going back from the COVID restrictions. In fact, in a lot of places around the country, other than the mask battle, a lot of these kinds of restrictions have been lifted. We mean something bigger, broader, which I want to lay out for you in detail here today. Number one, COVID has changed the world and the culture war. And we, specifically those of us fighting to conserve America's Judeo-Christian heritage, we must change our tactical perspective accordingly. The rules of engagement have changed, and now we must respond in kind. There is this mantra, and maybe it would be more precise to call it a desperate hope. There's this mantra repeated often that what's happening here with COVID is just such an outlier, often followed by an expressed desire to return to the state of the culture war before COVID. Unfortunately, we never will. While it may be unprecedented, it will not be an outlier. COVID is an omen. Pardon the pun. See, we have shown the spirit of the age too much weakness. We have shown it with COVID, what we never had really with any culture war issue before this. That if they force us all to personally experience, meaning in our homes, everywhere we go, if they force us all to personally experience the consequences of a contrived crisis, and these are really just the spirit of the age's quests for more power and control, but if they make us feel it personally, we will dutifully comply. We all read to our children what happens when you give a mouse a cookie. So guess what happens when you give the spirit of the age this level of instant subservience? It will not be satiated with just this singular infusion of unconditional obedience via COVID. Oh, no. It will demand more and more on every front. We need to create our own subculture and ecosystem. However, not with a monastic intent of living separately, but with the missional intent of modeling righteousness and liberty to a watching world. Meaning not a separate culture, an alternative one. Our marriages are better. Our families are better. Not in quality or essence, but in way of life. A superior way to live that attracts other people that are like, wow, I want what they have. We run our businesses better. We run our schools better. We need to create our own subculture and ecosystem. And if we don't do that, we will fail our children and grandchildren. 10, there are not enough of us to completely overtake the spirit of the age, I'm afraid. There's just not enough. Too many Americans want to be ruled. However, there's too many of us for the spirit of the age to assert itself completely at the same time. So we have this sort of standoff right now. But we must establish a foothold while this standoff exists. We must establish a foothold. We must make red states and red counties and red communities red again. And they must be at least as red as California is blue. Because soon the standoff will end. Now that they own all the institutions, soon the standoff will end, and it will be them now fully on the offensive. Right now, there's a bit of a standoff. Not enough of us to win, but too many of us to lose. Soon that will end. Take advantage of the time we have right now and establish a foothold, safe havens where the doctrine of the lesser magistrate reigns.